Hey Internet, we're going to try this again. I made a few videos before in the past, but I kind of lost motivation because, well, I'm lazy sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to do a segment today. I try to do one every week with a different kit, and I'm going to call this one, What's in the Box? This is the Revell Alternomad Caprice. Alright, so we're going to start here with the body. Try to give as close up of a shot as I can with everything. In true Revell fashion, it's decent for flash. I mean, there's a little bit down here that you can see, but this is definitely not a AMT new issue MPC, anything to do with round 2. Definitely not that. I mean, as you can see, it's got a little bit, a little bit's tolerable, but otherwise, I mean, it's pretty clean for what it is there. Moving on to the floor pan assembly. Exhaust, looks like radiator intake mirrors. And again, I mean, it's clean for what it is. Not a bad place to start. I mean, it's got a few little spots here and there, but I can't complain. Onto the interior bucket. Now, one of the things that irritates me about models is when they have all the little windshield washer reservoirs and things like that molded into it. I really wish that they would separate that, 'cause that's kind of a pet peeve of mine, as with the console and the back seats molded to the floor. But I mean, it's what it is. It's still pretty decent, to be honest. There's the dashboard, 2-piece assembly. Looks like maybe the steering box, maybe some rear suspension. Front seats, they're ugly, probably won't use them. Moving on to the rear end assembly, the front A-arms, shocks, coil springs. It's a pretty interesting hood. I don't know, I like how they molded the 57 chrome into both the hood and the sides. Even though I'm not really a Chevy guy, I can appreciate that. Now, moving on to the engine itself. If you look at the way that the engine is separated, that's very, very similar to the snap-tight engine that would come in a mid-80s IROC snap-tight Camaro. Almost goes together without glue, but you guys know me, that's not going to go in there. It's going to end up with a Hemi. Everything's better with a Hemi in it. And moving on to firewall pieces, you can see the brake boosters molded in. It's got kind of a funky steering wheel. The door panel's got pretty decent detail for what they are. Exhaust, probably front valence, something, wheel backs, electric fans, the serpentine belt assembly, steering column. It looks actually like it's an upgraded billet column. I mean, that's at least how I would paint that, would be upgraded billet. We got some teeny tiny little lights there. Probably work out all right. And now on to the chrome trees. As you can see, I'm not sure if this is how they all come or if this one's just kind of a error kit, but it came with 2 chrome trees, which means it's got 2 sets of really cool wheels. The front grille assembly that would probably move right over to a regular Caprice model as long as it was still Revell or monogram, but don't mark my words on that, just an assumption. But then you got the big 57 rear tail fin to go with it. I mean, the chrome is decent. There's very little flash on the chrome, and like I said, it's a double chrome kit for whatever reason, so I scored an extra set of wheels for free. And then onto the glass. The glass itself looks like it goes full length of the side, which is good to keep dust out of the inside of the car, but I'm kind of on the fence about those. But then you got your headlight lenses, your windshield, and your rear window. Your standard, but overall, again, still all good quality. And moving on to the decal assembly. I don't know that I'll be using any of those. I don't mind the dashboard decals, but sometimes they get really tedious, and then all the factory warning nonsense that they put. I don't know. Some of those will get used, but the quarter panel decals for the fins is definitely not going to get used by me. But you know, to each their own. Looks good from my house, right? Now, moving on to the instruction sheet that comes with this Revell kit. As usual with Revell and Monogram, they tell you, a part-by-part description of what every piece and part is inside, all the little warnings and need to use this color and blah blah blah. But if there's ever any questions, Revell Monogram instructions are great for telling you what every single piece and part is, and if you don't speak English, they tell it to you in 2 different languages as well. So again, on to the engine assembly. You can see that's a lot like a Snap-Tight IROC set of engine instructions, and it goes down, nothing too fancy schmancy. On to instruction 3, which should be exhaust and rear suspension. Some more rear suspension, and front suspension, fans, electric fans, wheel assembly, interior assembly, and there's the dashboard, and then all the dashboard decals and what have you. On to putting in the glass, mating the interior with the body, and then the body with the floor. Headlights, air intake assembly, hood, a little bit of chrome, the grille. As you can see, the rear window goes in from the outside. Wow, as do the side windows. Something new every day, right? And then, of course, the decal placement for the outside. But anyway, I've yet to try to put it together yet, and I will post an updated video when it comes time to put it together. But for the meantime, initial impression of the kit is it's decent quality for what it is, and I look forward to building it once that thing is built and on the shelf. I will be onto this Nomad next, and we'll go from there. Any questions, feel free to ask. You can find me on Facebook at Nobody's Model Car Group. I've since left all the other groups, and I'm going to focus solely on my own group and making videos. And hopefully it's informative. If anybody has a kit that they have any questions about that I have on the shelf, I'll be happy to open it up and take a look at it for you. And like I said, I'll post a video on the that's a Street Fighter 60 Chevy wagon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join my group on Facebook. Thanks. Out.